Ladies and gentlemen, Lil Jackson from the Lil Jackson Radio Show here on location at the International Boxing Hall of Fame, home to champions from all over the world, and I have one of the finest referees in the business today, Jay Nady. Jay, how you doing today?
I love the show. We're here at the parade for the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies.
Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time. It's my first time here.
And how long have you been in the business of boxing?
Well, I had my first fight in 1967. And I became a referee in '69 while still fighting. And after I got out of the Army in '72, I became a professional referee. I've been a referee in Nevada ever since then.
Wow. And what are some of the greatest fights that you have done, that you officiated?
I don't know which ones are the greatest, but most exciting were
for you. Yeah.
Zab Judah and Costa Sioux is a pretty famous one when he went crazy after I called him knocked out. And probably the best fight was the Vargas Trinidad fight, and that was in '02. And I did Roy Jones 3 or 4 times, and I think he was always a tremendous fighter.
Well, you've been officiating for like 30 years?
Almost 50.
Almost 50 years, so you had a lot of memorable fights. Now, I know you're still officiating now. You just did a job, what, Friday night?
Friday night, 2 nights from tonight.
And which fight was that?
I don't remember
Vegas?
who it was. Yeah, I was in Las Vegas. Here comes
Marvelous
Marvel. The Marvelous coming right by.
Marvin! Did you have the opportunity to judge any of his fights?
No, I didn't referee. Here's the Colonel. Colonel!
Bob Sheridan, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Nady is going, having a great time.
He's from Las Vegas too, the Colonel.
Okay.
Colonel Bob Sheridan. He's announced more fights than anybody in history. He does all the announcing he did everything for.
Well, I think he's on Showtime.
He's on Showtime, but he was the only one that ever did a Don King fight for many years. I mean, years ago. So he just has a lot of history behind him, and he's a retired colonel in the Army, and
he's getting inducted today in a couple of hours, as a matter of fact, into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And speaking of Don King, we all know his first promotion was with the Ali, Muhammad Ali, the greatest, and he just passed away. Or we had his regress Friday. I believe it was. Tell us some of your memories of Muhammad Ali.
I never refereed him I used to spar with Liston after he was beaten by Ali.
Okay.
And
it's a little bit too late then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still he was a tough fighter. And he hit me so hard that I couldn't raise my arm. He never hit me in the face though. Sonny Liston was the sweetest man I think I've ever met. Just a wonderful guy. Anyway, for a tough guy, he was really a sweet guy too. I forgot your question now.
I was asking about Muhammad Ali.
I had dinner with him one time after he had stopped fighting, and we were talking about Tyson, who was coming up, and the guy I was with, a guy named Elias Ghanem from the Nevada State Athletic Commission, said, well, what do you think of Tyson? And he said, he's about like Frazier was about this age, which was a really good analysis because they had a lot of the same traits and talents, threw a lot of hooks.
Here comes the commish and Jerry Cooney riding by. International Boxing Hall of Fame. The commish can't put a microphone down. You know, he has his radio show too.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, him and Jerry Cooney are on Monday Night Fights. Yes. So Jay, you've been officiating for a long time. You have any advice for young kids who want to be a referee in the boxing world today?
Just stay with it. Just continue to do it. It's when I first started, we were making $5 a card back in the early '70s, and for amateurs, we make nothing. If you don't love it, you shouldn't be in it. It's something you have to do because you enjoy the people in the game, and they're all my best friends, and I don't know anything other than that.
So it's not about the money; it's about the love of the game.
No, and I donate every penny I make to a charity every year, just so I can say I don't do it for the money. Now, I do take expenses out for this trip. I took it out for this, but the money I make every year, I make sure I come down to a net zero.
Now, speaking of trips, you've traveled all over the world refereeing major bouts throughout the world. When you're traveling into a foreign country, how do you speak to them, or how do they communicate? How do you make them understand what it is that you're trying to say in the ring?
Well, normally every fighter knows 6 words in every language: stop, time, box, no, break, and holding.
Okay.
That's so they all know those.
So you know those languages, those few words in the particular language that you're.
Yeah. No, they know those in English. It's all where they go.
Okay. In English, well that helps.
I want you to know this is the first interview I've ever given.
No.
Honestly.
Come on, Jay.
I don't do interviews because I don't think referees should be seen or heard.
Well, you've been in the game 50 years now. I feel honored. Linwood Jackson Radio Show. We have Jay Nady here, and one of the biggest referees in the game, over 50 years in the business. We at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I understand this is your first year.
Yep, my first year here. It's wonderful.
And when you come back next year, hopefully you'll be going in and getting inducted yourself.
I would doubt it. I don't think they let you until you quit, and I ain't going to quit for a while.
Yeah, I know that's right. Hey, thanks a lot for the interview, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.